I've always considered myself to be a lucky guy, except when it comes to games of chance. Anything with a dice or cards or a little spinny thing, forget it. And raffle tickets, I just basically think of them as donations, because as a kid, I never won anything that had to do with luck. And what I didn't know was I was saving up all that luck for one flip of a coin. 2008 was a pretty shitty year. I felt awful most of the year. Went to see the doctor, sent me for a blood test, then another one, and then another one, and then another one. And I said, "Doc, what's up with these blood tests?" He goes, "Yeah, they keep screwing things up in the lab." Well, what do you mean? He goes, "Well, if these were your actual blood counts, you'd be dead." Yeah, the thing was, those were my actual blood counts. I had an advanced form of a rare type of leukemia. Spoiler alert. The way I found out about that was kind of interesting. I had to go into the hospital for a bone marrow biopsy. And this doctor is kneeling on my back, taking a steel spike into my hip bone and grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding. Finally he stops and he turns to the obsequious interns. And says, "I can't find any bone marrow," but that's not unusual in cancer patients. That was the first time anybody had used the C word with regard to my condition, and I found it a bit off-putting. They couldn't treat me in that hospital, so I had to go to another one. I sat around for a long, long time. And the nurse came in and said, "I don't know why we can't find you a bed. You know, people like you get treated well all the time." I'm like, "What do you mean, people like me? You have good insurance." I sat there for a while, and the nurse came back and said, "All right, we can't find you an open bed, but what we're going to do is we're going to put you in an ambulance and just send you towards Center City, Philadelphia. And whoever has the first open bed, that's where you're going to go." Just so you know, I'm not at the end of my rope. I can see it from where I'm sitting. I'm about 48 to 72 hours out from bye-bye. So this ambulance shows up, right? And it's two 500-pound guys who are out of breath just getting out of the ambulance. And they tell me to get on the gurney. I'm like, "No, because when you drop me, you won't be able to pick me up." So I climb into the ambulance, and they take off. Now, this is a snowy day in Philadelphia. And you know what that means? That means half the drivers are doing 10 miles an hour, going, "Oh my God, it's snowing!" And the other half are doing 80 miles an hour, going, "Come on, it's just a little snow!" And these two ambulance drivers are playing their own version of Grand Theft Auto, blowing through stop signs and red lights and laughing and causing cars to spin out. And I'm holding on for dear life, quite literally, in the back. On the floor of the ambulance are 3 of those giant steel oxygen tanks, just rolling around on the floor, back and forth as we stop and start. Now, I don't know if you know about those, but they're essentially bombs waiting to go off. If you damage the valve on one of those things, it becomes a torpedo that can go through a brick wall like nothing. So I'm hanging on there, and they're rolling back and forth, and a kind of peace comes over me, and that I now know that I am screwed. That if the leukemia wasn't going to get me, Philadelphia sure would. What I didn't know was that the gene for leukemia is called the Philadelphia gene, because it was discovered in Philadelphia at Penn. the first gene therapy treatment for cancer, where they go into your white blood cells and reprogram them to attack your cancer, was developed for leukemia at Penn. Doctors from all over the world come to Penn to be trained to treat leukemia. Penn has the best trained nurses in the world. And as you know, the first duty of a nurse is to keep doctors from killing. Penn has been kicking leukemia's ass for over 50 years. And here I am, in the back of an ambulance, headed towards Center City, Philadelphia, to one of 2 hospitals. One has a treatment for what I have, and one doesn't. And this is where every game of backgammon I ever lost, every time I rolled that 3rd double in Monopoly and had to go to jail, every time I hit on 16 and still busted, every bit of luck I had saved up since I was a child came into play. One, life or death, flip of a coin. And I won.